Welcome to this extra special presentation. I want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving. It's noon here in Colorado, and I just finished editing a video that I produced 10 years ago that I'm so happy and just can't wait. I'm chomping at the bits to share this with you because I know a lot of you enjoy our Vietnam stories, and I've got a video for you you're going to absolutely love today. It's a perfect day for it, to be thankful for what we have in this country. Folks, as bad as things have been, I'm still grateful to live in the best country in the world. And I know God has blessed America for a reason. We've been a beacon of light. And if I have anything to say or do about it, it's going to continue that way. So I'm just grateful for everything we have, a day to stop and reflect and be grateful and kind of inventory our lives, and thankful for the most important things in life, which is our God, our family, our relationships, and our veterans, obviously. Folks, I wanted to go to the wall with a group of Vietnam veterans. And back in 2013, I had interviewed Lee Alley. He was a lieutenant, first lieutenant in Vietnam, a young 21-year-old lieutenant in the 60s, and I think 67 and 68 he served. He was one of my first Vietnam interviews. I interviewed him in Casper, Wyoming back in 2006. It was June. We went on to do school presentations together and just became friends, and he's been at a lot of my premieres. But Lee was the president of the 5th of the 60th, which is the 5th Battalion, 60th Infantry, part of the 9th Infantry Division. He was the president of that association for a number of years, and I went back to Washington, D.C. with him and his group, a couple hundred veterans at least, back in 2013, and I wanted to see the emotion. I wanted to capture it as we walked up to the wall, as I kept my distance and was very reverent with my camera that day. But you're going to see it right here. I just have re-edited the complete soundtrack and have added some things. And it's just a beautiful video. You're going to love it. It's going to touch your heart. It's perfect for today, being Thanksgiving. So I'm happy to share this with you today. Folks, as we count our blessings today, I want to take a moment, stop and recognize several people that have really been with me through the thick and the thin of my work. They've stood by me. They've gone the extra mile. They're there when I need them. And I just want to acknowledge them today. First of all, S.K. Ofsted. S.K. is a veteran of the United States Army. He was a chaplain, 2 deployments overseas, Iraq, Afghanistan. He lives here in Grand Junction. He has a group called Gang, Giving Adolescents New Goals, where he helps young people that need help in life. And he has such a ministry with that Gang. SK, thank you. Thank you so much for supporting my work. I so appreciate it. John Penn. John's a truck driver. He's out there somewhere today, parked. Hopefully you're getting some turkey, John. John, thank you. God bless you. He's a God-fearing man, folks, and I just love this man. And he's just been such a great support of my work and enabling me to continue with my radio station and with this YouTube channel. So John Penn, thank you so much, sir. I want to thank Brandon Glidden. Brandon is in Florida. He's an entrepreneur. He's a great young man, served in the United States Army. And I just want to thank you, Brandon, for your help. You know what you've done. You know what you've been to my life, and it's just I just want to thank you today for all the things you've helped me with. You've helped me with a lot of my stories, the Korean stories. It's been such a blessing, Brandon. Yes. Chet Howard. Chet's newer to my life, but Chet, you've been there. You helped me to produce, re-edit my Holocaust film. You've been there helping me sponsor some of my stories. I know you live in Ohio, and I'm so grateful for you today, and just want to say thank you on Thanksgiving Day for your continued support of my work, and as we work together to bring these stories to this world. Amen. Michael and Darlene Sarofsky, they live over in the Denver area. You guys, you're new to me. You've been so generous to my work too. You've supported a lot of my stories, and you're there. I know you're there, and that's what means the world to me, is I know you're there. And God bless you for it, and He will. And I just hope you're having a great Thanksgiving. I want to thank Steve and Abby Risso. Steve and Abby have been supporters of my work for the last several months. I think they're still on a cruise. They went on a cruise, but happy Thanksgiving to you guys, and thank you for sticking with me. Steve said he was sick. He had, I think, an infected foot, but he was down and out, and it was my stories that really brought him out of that funk he was in, and it became a lifesaver to him, these stories. So what a testimony of healing for Steve Risso. So thank you guys, and all you and everybody else that's sponsoring my stories and donating to this work in my radio station. Thank you. God bless you. I want to close with this. Stan Von Felt served with the 5th of the 60th 9th Infantry Division in Vietnam, was there 14 months, And he was a young man. I'm going to put up a picture right now of Stan during Vietnam. He looks like a kid. He was a kid. They all were. But they grew up fast, just like they did in all wars. But Stan was exposed to Agent Orange over in Vietnam. And consequently, today he's had failing kidney, renal failure. So he's in need of a kidney donor, folks. There's been some information out on social media about it, but I just say God bless you, Stan, and your family this day, and I'm praying for you, and I hope that we find a donor. Like I said, Stan was at the reunion in 2013. You'll see him in this video, and I just want to ask for you to pray for him and his family as they seek that donor. So if you want more information on that, you can get a hold of me on my website, or you have my email address. So folks, my heart's full today. I'm going to get right into the program. I apologize for the longer introduction, but it's a special day, a special video. Like I said, I produced this 10 years ago. Went to Washington, D.C. with these Vietnam veterans, and it was just heaven. It was just an amazing experience as we went to the wall. We visited the other memorials there, and you're going to see it. The music's great. I think you're going to really love it, and God bless you this day. Thank you for sharing my video, subscribing to this channel, and let's keep this thing going, folks. I salute our veterans on this day. Happy Thanksgiving.
I'm proud to go. It's a heavy day, heavy emotional day, especially for the guys that haven't been there. For me personally, it's going to be a very emotional day. But I think for all of us, we need to do this. We should do that. It closes the loop a lot on what we did and who we are.
Main thing I expect is going to be a lot of sadness, a lot of heartbreak.
Well, I couldn't watch the video because it made me cry. And I know I'll cry tomorrow. It'll be very emotional. But I'm going to go to support my husband. He's very good.
I just expect a lot of sadness tomorrow. We've been there before. It's been a long time. It was sad before, and it'll be sad again tomorrow.
I've been to the wall before, but it's all going to be different this time because I'm going to be with guys that I served with, and we're going to see some of our comrades that didn't come back home safely. And it's going to be rough, but we'll all help one another through it. And God be with you.
I'm looking forward in a lot of ways. In a lot of ways, I'm probably scared of it. And there's a lot of apprehension, and I guess it's going to be a learning experience.
It's a very emotional place, and I expect tomorrow there's going to be quite a few tears. That's all I can say. It's just very emotional, very special place.
Tomorrow, I expect it to be very emotional. It was emotional the first couple times we've been there, and I expect it to even be more so tomorrow. But I'm looking forward to it. It's good that they can be all together to witness this existing highly decorated memorial. It's great.
It'll be emotional, particularly for the first timers. I know it was for my first time.
This time, since I'm going with friends that were with me in Vietnam, I'm hopeful that he won't hit me as he hit me the first time. But I know it's going to be very emotional.
Well, if I had to go to the wall again, this is the bunch of guys I'd go with. So I'm honored to go with them, pleased to go with them. And
Me and my wife had come to the wall several years ago, and I broke down too much, and I walked away, and I told her, I says, I'll never come back here again. But then she come up to me and was kind of talking to me, excuse me. But we kind of, this time, we have a VA group, and I talked to my counselor, and he said he's talked to other vets, same as me. When they went by themselves, he says, if you go with your comrades, it's an entirely different feeling. And I'm going with some guys that have never been there before.
My thoughts about going to the wall, last Thanksgiving, I was in Washington, D.C. with my family, and we kind of toured around. However, I specifically requested that we don't go to the wall because everybody in my family has already been there, but I never have. And the reason I wanted to do that is because I wanted to go to the wall with my brothers. So I've been waiting for this for almost a year, and I'm looking forward to it. Like they said, there's about 250 guys from the 5th to the 60th who are on that wall, and I know quite a few. And I was there when they died.
I've been to the wall twice. My wife has a cousin that died there died in Vietnam in '67. Brought a photograph with me, and I'll be putting it on his name tomorrow.
We're going to the Vietnam Wall tomorrow, and I'm expecting to be overcome by emotion to see some of the guys I've lost. There's some vacant memories, and maybe some of those will be filled in, so I'm kind of hoping I get to learn a little bit when I go.
Well, with all these guys, it's going to be a very big support system. Be my first time. I've wanted to do it for many years, and with this event, it's probably when I'm going to be the best time to do it.
Trying to keep my act together because I know it's going to be very emotional, because I remember the people, they were people.
I was in Vietnam about 7 months. I had 43 friends who were wounded and 4 who were killed. And tomorrow we're going to the wall to visit my past.
I got about 4 people I went to school with that I got to find, and there's about 6 guys that I actually served with that are on that wall, and so that's kind of more, I just want to see that they're there.
I guess my thoughts about going tomorrow is a little bit of apprehension. My husband has always been the Vietnam veteran who didn't really talk about his experiences in the war. He's always felt like he was able to compartmentalize his duty and look at that as one part of his life that was over and then move on. I think it's really important tomorrow to go with him to the wall to support him, but I just am wondering, a little apprehensive about tomorrow and how he's going to react when he's with all of his comrades here.
Oh, really looking forward to going to the wall. I've been there once prior, that back in 1987. It's just a very, very moving experience. You know, there may be a bunch of names there that a lot of people look at, but those names, some of those names have faces, and it becomes a very personal thing with each one of those. There's ones on there that I knew personally. There's one guy on there that I went to school with.
I'm looking forward to going to the wall tomorrow. I was selected to read the names from headquarters company that were killed in action. I think it's the greatest thing in the world. It's a very healing thing for these men to go to.
I'm looking forward to it. I've been here once before. I'm planning on going with them tomorrow with all the comrades that we have here, looking up all the friends that we lost over there, and just having a blessed time, reminiscing and thinking about them. And
going to the wall tomorrow, and what I did before I came here, I made a list of the brothers who were killed in action, and I plan on looking up each and every one of their names tomorrow. I remember the very first guy that was killed was on our very first patrol, and I'm really looking forward to see his name there.
It means it's a healing process for him. I've been married to him for 37 years, and every positive experience he can have has been a healing process. So this is healing every time he can meet with his friends here and talk to them, and they've lived the same thing because I wasn't there. Our son is actually going to meet us there, so that's going to be, he's going to meet Leo's comrades for the first time, and I think it's going to be a very moving experience, and I'm very proud of all these guys.
It's tough to go back for me. I've looked up a lot of our guys that was in my unit that's their names are on there. I have people from my hometown that I went to high school with that are on the wall that I've found their names, and I don't know, it's like everybody else, that gamut of emotion hits you with mad, sad, glad, so you never know what to expect. You just, with the guys, it's going to be awesome. It really will. I'm looking forward to it this time especially. It'll be different this time, yeah.
Going to the wall tomorrow is going to be very emotional for me because I've got 3 guys in my squad that are on the wall. It might be a good way for me to have a little closure with them. I don't know, but I hope. And I found out tonight the other 4 guys in my squad has died, and I'm the only one left. So that's pretty hard to take. And sometimes I feel like I'm a dying breed. So, but it's I've got good support, things like this. So I just wish every veteran could get a chance to see the wall and things like this. So it's going to be hard. I know it will. So, thank you.
Yeah, we'd all still be asleep.
Morning.
Morning.
Are you excited?
Yes, we are.
All right, where you headed?
We're going on a tour. Lots of places.
It's going to be good.
Yeah.
Aren't you Lee Alley?
I am.
What are you thinking about today?
I'll tell you what, I'm so excited about this trip. This is something we've waited for 45 or 50, I can't even count the years right now, to go back to the wall with the men that I served with. We've got 5 bus loads, about 250 of us. It's going to be one of the greatest days of our life. It's going to be very emotional. The wall is going to be our last stop, so there's a lot of anticipation, a lot of memories building up, but it's going to be a great day.
Awesome. Good morning.
We have a male stripper on our bus.
Are y'all excited?
It means a lot to me. Anytime I get the opportunity to be of service and drive for our veterans, I consider that a great honor. I've had the good fortune of driving for World War II veterans, Korean War veterans, and now I get to drive for my era, the Vietnam veterans. And it is truly a great honor anytime we can do this, to thank these service personnel for all that they have done for us. If it wasn't for these ladies and gentlemen, I could not do the job that I do. My family, my countrymen, we are free because of them. So thank you, and I hope I can continue to be of service.
We're ready to go. We've got one. This was our stop. We just got done with the World War II Memorial. Our next stop is right over here. We're going to take a few minutes to see the Lincoln and then the Korean, and then at 2:30 we're going to do a ceremony. We're going to read about 260 names of the 5th to the 60th that were killed that are on that wall and lay a wreath in their honor.
And the excitement's building.
The excitement's building. It's getting great.
Okay, man.
At 2:30, drop dead time, I want you all on the grass. We have a roped off area over there at our ceremony where we're going to read the 260 names of the 5th to the 60th that are on that wall, and we're going to lay a wreath at the wall. It's going to be a very touching ceremony.
Know some names on that? What'd you see?
Ron Garner. He's a medic that took care of me when I was wounded, and about 6 weeks later he was killed. I had to stop and say hello.
Friend of yours?
August 5th, 1969. He was killed by a sniper walking out in front of the patrol.
Have you been back here before?
No, it's first time.
First time.
Just about 40 years later.
Can you tell me who the name is down there?
Whalen.
Tell me about him.
Michael Whalen, my cousin from my hometown. He was killed in Vietnam. He was with the 11th Division, 11th Armored Division.
Yeah, right there.
Tell me about him. Who is that?
Oh, he's just a buddy, and that's me next to him. And he was a great guy.
Was hit by a booby trap and just kind of tore out his throat and lower head. And I actually talked to the medic that was there, and there was nothing they could do for him. Just was a matter of minutes before he died. But
He was alongside of me. We were securing a perimeter because a tank had broke down. And we didn't know it at the time, but we had totally went into an ambush.
You guys are a little later than us.
And we lost a lot of people that 3 days. I can't remember. I mean, Gippsland, no. It's like 60-some people.
I went to school with Michael May, and we ran track together. And he was an MIA, and body was never recovered. And when we visited the wall back in '87, I took a picture of his name, and all the names surrounding his, including his first name, showed up. But his last name of May had a cloud over it. And being an MIA, I'm saying, is this some kind of a message? I'm out here, come find me. It's always haunted me, wondering, what's the message if here, but there'll never be an answer to that.
Was he in there? Plain Reeds? January 25th?
77.
Yeah, so tell me who that is.
10, 20,
One of your buddies?
30.
Yeah, this is a whole bunch of our guys in my platoon were killed.
Of them, I heard?
70. Yeah, January 25th,
Tell me the
1969. This is J.D. Rumsey, James Riggin, James Lucky. Roger Vickers was the commanding officer. Another one over here, Dennis Holzheimer, was an RTO. And another one died a couple of days later. His name is U.B.S. He was a forward observer for the artillery guys. He was also shot up that day, and they medevacked him out, and he lived a couple more days before he died. So they didn't put him with the rest of them. He's got a couple of panels down.
Which name?
Michael Cesaro.
Okay.
I was with Michael when he died.
You were.
It was kind of a tough deal. Everybody's got their ghosts from Vietnam, and Michael was one of mine. But everybody in the world thought a lot of him. I wrote a poem, Finest Son. The year was 1968 and into 69. Brave young soldiers wrote letters home, said, "Mom, I'm doing fine." When in reality things were not so well. From the rice paddies and the jungles, war was a living hell. On January 8th of 69, Michael Tesoro died. Some men held their heads, and some men even cried. One of America's finest sons and a brother to us all now lies at rest at his family's plot. His name is on the wall. His name is on the wall.
Royce Trust, Jerry Weaver, Leroy Webb, George Whitelaw, Frederick Williams,
Clayton Brayman,
Edward Cordo, Richard Flores, Alvaro Garcia,
Charles Hamilton, Craig Hogan, Dennis Holzheimer,
Charles Hidrick, Emery Poitras, James Pollard, Walter Redding, Willie Reed,
Vicki Alexander, Marvin Briss, Patrick Dixon, Earl Godman, John Weller,
David Brooks, Lawrence Bonatter, Richard Caldwell, Manuel Cardenas, Floyd Collins, Eugene Dawson, Thomas Dean, Anthony DiGirolamo, Rudy Bouchak, Dennis Fisher, Ronald Gardner, Donald Ripple, Curly Hamby, Armand Stein, Harmon Stone, Charles Stovall, Ronald Strumer, Neil Thompson, Walter Thompson, Robert Torres, Gerwin Towsey, Thomas Van Houten, Roger Vickers, Ross Walker, Randolph Wilkins, Samuel Williams, Lewis Wilson, Rodney Wise. Thank you. Moment of silence for Charlie Company.
On a bunker in the evening breeze, we sat and talked and watched the trees. We talked of home and the girls we've known, and the '57 Chevy that you once owned. We were young and so far from home, in a place that we had never known, but we were happy and scared and so alone. We made a pact that very night, amid the panic of a firefight, to get together when we got out of here. We'd meet in Philly and I'd buy you beer, but that never happened. We got so close in such a very short time. What was mine was yours, and what was yours was mine. You always shared the packages you got from home, a can of Spam, some Kool-Aid, and a plastic comb. It meant so much to hear from home. Six months down and 6 to go. It won't be long now before it's time to go. We'll be standing on the corner in our old hometown, gassing up that Chevy just to cruise around. It's gonna feel so good to be back in the world. I'll finally see my family and my favorite girl now. All that ever mattered was going home. Well, that was 24 years ago. Why things happen that way, I don't really know. But here I am staring at your name, standing at the wall in the pouring rain. The tears won't stop and I can't see clear, but here I am holding on to 2 cold beers. Welcome home. to you, my brother. On a bunker in the evening breeze, we sat and talked and watched the trees. We talked of home and the girls we've known, and the 57 Chevy that you once owned. Welcome home, welcome home to you, my brother.
It's my second time to the wall, and every time I come back, or the two times, it's been a wonderful experience. This time I was able to find some of my colleagues, my brothers, with the help of my other brothers, and that's kind of touching. It's so I think you can come back here many times and experience some of those same feelings.
It wasn't as tough this time as the first time I came here. I think the reason was because I had my friends, from the 50th to 60th. But it was still, very, very powerful seeing Sergeant Quinget's name. His kids were little kids when he died. Johnston, a young man full of life, and he died a tragic death over there. And the other fellows, I'm glad that I came. That burden is getting easier and easier every time.
I remember watching the Ken Burns documentary on the Civil War, and they talked about a reunion that they had 20, 30 years later. And since this was my first trip, he said in that one of the guys at that reunion of the Civil War vets said, "Was this all a dream?" And I found out today that I may think that sometimes, but it's really not. This was real life. It meant a lot to me to stop by and see all those names today.
Well, it was a great day. Got here and, the good Lord smiled on us. The weather was perfect. It was not too hot. Got a little shower in the morning. I wanted the guys to think they were back in the Mekong Delta just to get a little bit wet. And that turned out perfectly. To be very honest with you, I thought that I was good to go on this, and it got pretty emotional for me when we were reading the names, but walking the wreath down and placing it and seeing all of the 5th to the 60th, I just hope that it filled everybody's expectations like it did mine. How's everybody?
We are good.
How's everybody doing?
The wall was as emotional as I've only been one time before, and this time it was extremely emotional. I found several of my friends on the wall there, and it brought a lot of flashbacks to me, remembering them when they were alive, and my friend Norman Baldwin, who I went through OCS with, and Joe Amos, who was one of my drill sergeants at Fort Jackson, and I just, 40-some years later, could just vividly see them as they were back when they were alive, and it was just an emotional day. It was great to be there.
Awesome. This is my first reunion, and I really appreciate the fact that they let me come to the reunion. This wall, it was a great experience, man. It's not my first time seeing it, but it was very, very moving. I enjoyed it very, very much.
How'd it go today?
Fantastic. My friend
is a preacher, 82 years old. I see him every Thursday, take him out to lunch as a thing.
Yeah.
He gave me 3 names to look up on the wall. The only one I could find was Robert Allen Jr., and I got a rubbing for him.
Good for you.
I'm sure he's going to be tickled pink. He's going to be very excited.
Well, my uncle was Charlie Ranger in 1968, and he passed away 5 months before the first reunion that we were able to make, that we were invited to. So I'm the honorary member now, and every year, once a year, I get to wear the hat and the bandana, scarf. So, and these guys there now, even though I lost my uncle, I now have 250 uncles. I truly do. They're the best guys ever.
Can you tell me what the reunion meant to you today, going to the wall? Was that first time there?
Yes, sir.
Tell me what you felt.
And very touching, deep, sentimental, and meaningful.
Yeah. Was the 5th, the 60th?
Yes.
Did you find any names on the wall that you knew?
Yes, I did.
Did you go see them?
Yes. Yes, I did. It was very touching. But I look forward to probably next time they have a reunion, I probably would make it. This was the first one. You know, I hopefully don't intend for it to be my last. Okay.
It's pretty emotional for whatever reason. I can't explain it yet, but it's been rough on me.
You saw some names up there that you knew?
Yeah, we heard quite a few names from our platoon. We lost half the platoon in one day, and on 2 panels we had about 7 or 8 guys just from our platoon. So yeah, it was rough.
What does it mean to see a name up there? I mean, you can talk about it, but how do you feel? What do you think about when you see that?
You know, I guess I don't give it a lot of thought. I just look. It's like a flashback. It's like you see the name and you see the person. It's just the image is just in your head. As soon as you see the name, the image is there. You know, so it's about it, man.
How did it go today? Was it what you thought it would be?
No, Larry, it was.
Tell me.
It was very humbling with the World War II and the Lincoln and the wall. Found some classmates' names and some buddies' names, and didn't like the crowd, at all, but that's just the way it is, So, but I'm glad I came, to do some healing, for Nick and John and some other people, So.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, man. I'll see you tonight at the party.
Okay.
A little refrained. I left more of it up to my captain, Charlie, Taylor, and the sergeant, Al. I knew the names. I didn't want to get too close to look. I just stood back. And, a total feeling of drainage. So I just let them handle it. It brought back a lot of memories. You could visualize the actual deaths happening. So many individuals, the Lieutenant Garter, Charlie Hamilton. So it was moving, and I think the work that went into it and the way the dedication played out, I think they did an impressive job with it.
The 25th of June, 1967, we had a track blow up and we lost 5 of our guys from our platoon. And we went today to have a picture taken with them and memorialize them, because none of us had been to the wall before. I've been to the moving wall, but not the wall. But we really enjoyed it. I'm sure everybody will tell you the same thing. So, and thank you for what you're doing.
My experience today was, I was one of the people that read the names. And there were a few names that I came across that were close personal friends in Vietnam, and I struggled a bit with the names. But overall, I'd have to say that it was a healing process. Even though this is my 4th time at the wall, it gets a little bit easier each time, but it's still emotional. It's still very emotional.
Yes, in fact, I read the names of A Company,
and Jerry Horn. He was a bear hunter from Alaska. Volunteer point man, carried an M60 machine gun, loved it. He loved the hunt. And this was the ultimate game. And to my understanding, he had 7 Purple Hearts, and that 7th one killed him. He was in an area that we were in the night before. We didn't see any action, and he got killed there the next night.
Going to the wall was, this is the second time I've been there, and actually about a month ago we had a 80% version of the traveling wall come to my hometown. I think that helped me emotionally today, and not quite as hard of feelings or strong of feelings as some of the, I had strong feelings, let's put it that way, but there were a few moments where a few tears came.
When I visited the wall alone a couple of days later, that it was very emotional, and it continues to be. And I just want to thank everybody that had anything to do with putting that thing up. So thank you.
I hadn't been to the wall. This was one of the things that was on my bucket list. I didn't think it would affect me as much as it did, and I watched Lee go through it, and he hangs stuff right to the end, and so did I. And I came back and got to my room and crashed. I was just totally spent. So very good experience. So this is a good thing for all the guys. So I lost Lieutenant Dixon. He went to a recon platoon, and on 28 May 1969, he and 3 other guys from our platoon got caught in an ambush, and we were too late to get there. So that's why I'm here to honor his memory.
I really believe that the wall changed the way Americans felt about the Vietnam veterans. I'll probably start crying, but it really, I don't like the word healed, but it helped a lot of people, millions and millions of people, and it really changed the way people thought about the Vietnam veteran. I just love going there, and I feel like I'm with my friends that I knew that died, and like I can never forget them. And thank you for doing this.
Today we went to the wall. It was a great experience. I have been there once before, but only for about 15 minutes. The words can't describe what it really is. It's I don't know. It's another world when you're at the wall. I think back of all, what war is, and that America sends their best people in the prime of life, and then they just die and their posterity is ended. So it's a touching. It's just a sad situation, but it's really good that we memorialize them.
The wall kind of messed me up today because there's 3 guys on there that I knew. One of them was killed in front of me when I was wounded, August 8th, 1970, and it just brought back a lot of memories, and but it relieves some memories too. But I just keep wondering what them guys would have been like if they were still here today. They were 19 years old. I just, I don't know. I just got choked me up. That's about all I can say.
One of my best friends from high school, and I was home, had done served my tour. He was fixing to go. Had just got married, and I told him, be careful. He was a chopper pilot, and he hadn't been over very long, and his mother got a call from the Army, and they told him that his chopper had went down. And of course, she called me, and I went down there, and I tried my best to to give her every hope that he had a chance of making it. When in my own mind, I knew he probably did. And I went there every day. And I don't know how many days it was later, but I was there the day that they knocked on our door to tell him he was gone. And I'd have rather been anywhere than there. But anyway, these reunions are so wonderful. You're able to talk to somebody that knows what you're talking about. And so I'm just happy that I made it back, but I'm really sorry for the people that didn't.
And today at the wall, 3 other guys I found on there that were killed in our platoon. It hit me that was been 44 years ago, and it was just hard to take. And it even hit me worse when they started reading the names of all the ones in our company, and they laid that wreath on the wall from the 9th Infantry. I think that touched me more than any of it. It's just a sad day, all in all. I mean, it was a good day being here with my friends that are alive and made it back. But it was a sad day that knowing some of them never made it back, and they'll never have the freedom we got here again. And to me, those are the real heroes, the guys that gave their life. I mean, like the guy says, some gave all and all gave some. There's never been a truer statement than that ever said.
Today was a very special day for all of us. Everything we saw at Arlington was really, really, really great. Vietnam War was a little tough for me. It was tough for me because I lost some very good friends in Vietnam. Friends from home, Freeport, Long Island, where I was raised, and all my buddies that I served with, especially my company commanders that were killed in Vietnam. And it's difficult. It's just so difficult to go to the wall and see those names, especially under some of the circumstances that were involved. One of the deceased buddies that I will have to live with for the rest of my life replaced me on point. I was cutting point. We took a break. He replaced me. We stood up. We moved out. We were ambushed. He was shot and killed. And I have to live with that. And it's very difficult. Very emotional. Because it could have been me. But it wasn't. And I just have to deal with that for the rest of my life. It's very hard.